I was in an all boys school. You're surrounded by dudes all the time. Like now, there's an age gap. You swallowed hard there. Hey, yo, ain't nothing happen, bro. Ain't nothing happen.
So what up, guys? My name is Luc, and guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We're back again at Primal Spirits Distillery, and today with me I have...
Hey guys, as usual, Chris in the house representing Primal Spirits. We're joined by really two cool guests. I'll let them introduce themselves. On my left actually is...
Yeah. So guys, my name is Hector, also known as Xquizified, the original Oshibaba Bros.
Yeah. Shout out.
His name, by the way. And yo, I'm Gedeon, and I'm also known as G Baby, also known as Gentle Criminal.
Why don't we have AKAs though? I feel like we should get AKAs. We should create AKAs. No, guys, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. This is a platform whereby we invite people and we put issues that are prevalent in society out in the open over a nice, chill table talk type conversation. We're going to jump straight into today's topic, and it's another question that we're going to unpack and then just see what you guys think. Obviously, guys, don't forget to do the right thing. Hit the like button, subscribe, get notified. I don't need to tell you too much about this. The question is, do men find it hard to deal with rejection? And this can be an extension. Rejection in what sense? Romantically, rejection in general. But if you want to further get that question, it's like, do guys find or take rejection personally? So I'm going to start with the gents in front of me. Gents, do you guys take rejection personally?
Me personally, bro, nah, I don't take rejection very personal. I think it's layered, you know. I think some people in my family would take it hard, but I am the middle child out of 5.
I see.
I got things handed down to me, and I learned not to get attached to it because I must pass it on. And I know that, you know, as a middle child, there's a lot of things that you have to deal with. So I grew up knowing that the world is not always gonna give me what I want, you know. But then I've had friends who are the only child, always getting attention, always getting what they want, and I've seen them not taking rejection very well. So me personally, I take rejection very, very well. Sometimes it's scary because I always find some positive thing about the rejection, whether it's not worth me, you know, there's something better that's coming, or you know, I have to learn something from that rejection. Yeah, that's how I've always taken rejection.
That's an interesting view. Right? Straight up coming with the positives about rejection. And from what I'm getting, like from what Hector told me, this is rejection like in a broader sense. You know? It can be in any way, because, you know, rejection is that broad. It can be financial, it can be business-wise, it can be... Life has so many different ways to tell you no. And then if I took anything from what Hector was saying is, how do you take that no and keep moving forward? And it's interesting how you mentioned being the middle child. Let's play on that dynamic a little bit.
I was thinking about the same thing.
I'm not a middle child, bro.
He spoke a lot. I mean, he spoke on a lot of things. A lot of factors.
It did. And from a firstborn point of view, I kind of get it, because from a firstborn point of view, you need really, really thick skin. Like extraordinarily thick skin, such that rejection, unfortunately, you become used to it. You know what I'm saying? Like you always leave room for rejection in anything you do, because realistically, you know, there's a chance something might not work out, and I can't act out because I'm the guy in charge. Like, all my siblings are looking at me. By default, you're a leader, so then you need to set that example to say, look, even if they say no, I can bounce back. or even if it affects me, which I think is the hardest thing. Like you can't show that rejection affects you. I don't know what you guys feel about that.
I mean, let's look at it from a perspective on that same token. Let's look at it from a perspective, a broader sense perspective, then we'll narrow down into
Exactly.
it, you know? As a man already, I mean, you can't take rejection lightly as a man because of the expectations. Beside you being a firstborn, I mean, it's societal expectations already.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading an article just, you know, in preparation for this.
Yeah.
And it said rejection overall, you know, on a global scale, right, has a huge impact on men more compared to women. In the sense that society has certain standards. The fact that you are a man, you're a male, there are certain standards you as a man have to meet. And because of that, men tend to somehow hinge their masculinity to rejection. They take it too personal because of that. I mean, the minute you are rejected, it's not you being rejected, it's you as a man
I see.
getting rejected.
So it plays like it's a question of your ego now being deflated, because it's like, am I not man enough to fill that gap? You know what I'm saying? No pun intended. But y'all knew I was gonna say that. That's why you have me on the show, guys. I bring the fun. Come on. Anyway, rejection, definitely does speak to you as a man. I'll speak for people in my age range, in your mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
I'm convinced by the time you're in your mid-20s, you've built enough of a shell of rejection tolerance. Because look, realistically, you've been dealing with like real life rejection from the time you're considered an adult, I'd say 18, 19. And then up until you're 25, that's like a 6-year gap. You used to hear no a lot. Hey, I mean, dude, I used to apply for jobs in high school all the time. Granted, I didn't do it the right way, but then they'd be like, no, and you're like, oh man, and go home. But now it's like, oh well, I don't meet the requirements. I need to do something else. I mean, Gedeon is, well, a bit younger than I am, I'm sure. So how do you take rejection, bro? Especially like in your age. Yeah. I want to put you on blast, bro, but how old are you?
How you putting him on the spot?
Guys, I'm above 20, by the way.
Oh,
That's okay, that's dope, yeah.
So I'll take you guys a little bit back in the term of rejection. You know, in our younger age, some people, or should I say some men, never experienced rejection in their youth days. That's why it's very hard for them to take rejection lightly. You see,
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest with everyone. Well, in my younger age, rejection messed me up.
Was it,
You know,
relationship-wise?
well, relationship-wise, general-wise, at home also.
Of course,
You know, I'm also a firstborn, you know, and the pressure is just too much. On top of that, you have your parents, you know, that set high standards and you're supposed to surpass those standards.
Lead by example.
And then, for the fact that you don't reach those standards, you're belittled. And you know, when you're belittled, you're like, what do I even have the need to be in existence? You know, at that point, you're messed up at home already. When you go out, you receive again another hit of rejection, and then you'll be like what do I have? You see, now for those who experience rejection in their younger age, going to their adulthood, they'll be like, what is rejection? Right now for me, rejection is like a stepping stone, you know. I wish I realized that in my youth. But yeah, I don't take rejection personally anymore. I feel like rejection is like another chance for me to check where I went wrong and be like, you know what, I'm gonna change that, but I'm gonna still be unique.
Absolutely. But I like what you said, and I think it highlights one of the key things when you speak about rejection, and that is mental health. What Gedeon kind of said, if I can put it in a nutshell, is rejection can lead to depression. It can lead to self-doubt. It can lead to feelings of low self-worth, which really scars your mental health. And then it brings all these questions into your head, right? Is it really worth it? Do I really deserve to be here? Am I good enough? You know that question, am I good enough? Yeah. I mean, that in itself is, I think, probably one of the underlying factors that we need to deal with, right? And okay, we're gonna say as men, but in general, is the mental health aspect of self-worth. I mean, Hector, you deal with quite a lot of youth empowerment, and you speak to a lot of young people. I mean, what's the consensus of mental health, especially among young men? I'm gonna say young, like let's give it an age range, 19 to 22 probably.
So there's a pattern that I've noticed, man. Like I'm always in a position where I find, I'm not gonna say I find information easy, but I get information that is more or less opportunities for young people, call outs for workshops or job opportunities. And every time I share it, it's the numbers of males and females is shocking. And I always ask myself, why are the guys not showing interest to this thing, you know? And I think, again, you know, your mental health, already self-sabotaging themselves to say, I'm not gonna get this, because again, you know, they've been rejected so many times that it just became a pattern that they don't even attempt anymore. They're just like, I'm not gonna get it. I had a conversation with my younger brother with the same thing. There was a program, I knew he fits to be in this program. I'm like, yo, apply for this thing. And then he made up excuses until I was on his neck. I was like, yo, until I set him down, I'm like, yo, there's a thing called self-sabotage, where you think you're not worthy of something and you make excuses and then you miss out. And at the end of the day, time is going. You know, you need to wake up and take responsibility for what you want in life. You know, and then now I see a change in my younger brother, and he's being more proactive, and I can see that he's coming up. His confidence is coming up, and that's all you need, man. People to encourage you. But now not everybody has a big brother like myself who talk to them, so it's like, ish, you know. So yeah, it's really, really sad. Even when I know that this person is qualified for this thing, and I'm like, yo, bruh, I'm only sharing this with you. Apply. You know, they only need one person. There's no need for me to share it everywhere. I know you fit. Out of everybody in my context, you deserve this. And then you find that they don't apply, procrastinate until it's too late, and then it's like, hey, son. You know, so I guess if you get rejected so many times, you end up rejecting yourself and
that's powerful,
what you're worth, you know?
That's powerful.
Don't you think it comes back to the fear? Because the results you get after failing, attempting and failing, it's painful. It's painful. It's literally worthy of depression. Let me put it that way. It's worthy of depression. Hence, normally you would not even want to attempt anything that is out of your comfort zone. Because I mean, looking at the stats, men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And the cause of that is depression. But women are more likely to be more depressed than men. That's the funny part.
What?
So even given the fact that women have a higher tendency to be depressed, men will take action.
Yes.
Driven by that depression.
Yes.
That I feel is a serious concern. I'm not going to say it's as a result of people saying no to you. So many, and I hate going the sexist angle, but I guess we do need to unpack it and look at it that way, right? And it goes back to when we were kids. Okay, what I saw when I was a kid. I lived with my cousins a lot, right? And I had a lot of female cousins. So the tendency for a female child to get something from a parent or a parent figure, right? Or the ease at which they can get something compared to a boy child. Oof. Hectic, bro. Like, I'm telling you, we need to do the most. Like, you don't have to misbehave. Stay indoors. You know, your parents didn't want you to go outdoors for some reason. I don't understand why. But do this, do that. Whereas with your female cousins, by virtue of the fact that it's this cute little girl,
Yeah.
here you go, here's that 5 rand to buy something.
Hey.
You're like, but I'm out here, you know, you see me. I know you see me.
That's the thing.
Hey.
So I think from a very young age, right, men are used to hearing no, to the point where, and you put it so excellently, they could be presented an opportunity like, this is yours, like you have no competition.
Bro.
But then your mind builds so many obstacles and so
Yeah.
many competitors where there aren't none
Builds up
realistically.
a lot of stories.
It
as
does.
To, okay,
It does.
If I fail this, then this. If I do this, then this. And another fact was, just looking at it, don't you think somehow and somewhere women are given the room to be emotional and expressive than men?
Yeah. Like, I think that's true. Gideon?
Yeah, what do you say?
You, as a firstborn at home, do you have sisters?
Yes, I do have sisters,
Yeah,
younger
yeah.
sisters, of course. Do you mind repeating the question for
No,
me?
but basically, like, no, what Patrick was saying is, it's a lot easier for women to be emotional and
Yeah.
openly emotional.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it goes back to what we taught as young kids, like,
Yeah.
boys don't cry. You
Boys
know what I'm
don't cry.
saying? You can't vocalize your emotions as a man. What do you think about that, bro?
Well, I'll be honest. That saying of boys don't cry, it messed up a lot of people, by the way. I won't lie, I was a crybaby there.
Hey, man. Bro.
At some point, I wasn't able to take in whatever was shoot at me. You know, it was just very hard, and I just burst into tears. And you know, I used to be a laughing stock. I'm like, why are you crying?
Hey.
You'll never become a man. You know, back then it will hurt, but to be honest, I'm actually glad that I took most of the heat.
Yeah.
Because when I look at myself right now, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
No, so it helps to promote emotional vulnerability in men, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Like, it's gotten to a point where, as a society, we shun emotionally vulnerable men.
Yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
They're actually weak.
They actually,
That's what society
weak.
would
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
they
yeah.
actually weak, for sure.
It's
And
too
we're gonna
soft.
we're gonna jump into the juicy
very
part of
soft.
this, and that is female rejection, especially
Yeah,
with
I know.
that. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's why it was building up. Because I wanted to
where it
get
was
there. I wanted to get there. That's
We
why
knew it was
building
going
up.
there.
Yes, yeah.
We knew it was going there. We all knew where it was going. So, especially with women, like the thing you told as a young lad, you know, growing up,
Yeah.
before you interact with women,
Yeah.
is that women want someone that's tough. You know, that you've got to be tough at any given time. You mustn't be a crybaby.
Yeah.
This is obviously when you're still growing up, and then as you grow up and you're getting older, you kind of understand what it means. It means don't be emotionally vulnerable openly. You know
No,
what
they
I'm
don't
saying?
say the openly part.
They don't say the openly part. Thank you. The openly is like it's these invisible brackets.
Hey, terms and conditions.
T's and C's apply, bro.
Vulnerable.
Do not be vulnerable. You can't afford to be, because now here's the messed up thing. Firstly, the judgment starts with other men. You are already rejected by your peers for being emotionally vulnerable.
Nice.
Why do you think that is? Is it because we have this, what can I say, implicitly communicated fact amongst men that don't be emotional, don't behave like a woman? Yes, let me put it that way.
And I think there's certain, I think I'll call them red tapes. I remember we were having a workshop at Xquizified. Like we were teaching them writing workshop, creative writing, poetry and stuff. And then in the midst of the workshop, I'm like, guys, I think it was Youth Day. So I'm like, guys, as young men, you need to be open about your emotion. You know, it's fine to tell your homie, yo, Chris, I love you, bruh. There's nothing wrong. And then they laughed, bruh.
That's example, man.
So they laugh. I'm like, guys, like, it doesn't mean I'm gay. And also, there's nothing wrong if I'm gay, you know?
Straight up.
So you guys just need to learn and unlearn certain cultures that you see on the street. Don't just take what you see on the street and implement it in your life. Now look at it. Is it feeding me in a positive way? You know, hence I tell my homies that, yo man, I miss you, bro. Yo, bro, I love you, dog. You know, and you find that you are the only person who's telling that guy at that time.
And he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
No, besides that, he doesn't do it. I'm
yes,
saying
you're the
you
one
might
he
be the
needs
only.
life.
He needs that I love you, because they might not be getting it at home, or facing so much rejection around women that you could be that person who's feeding them light if you say I love you. But now we always, also as gents, just downplaying it. And you know that I love this homie, bro.
Exactly, exactly. And I think it goes back to an underlying thing with men is that we don't really need, we don't see the need to vocalize a lot of things, right?
I think we've never experienced vocalized love.
We've never experienced it. Go back to our fathers, for example, right? A father will show you love, right? But then to hear "I love you" from your father as a boy is
weird.
It's
But
so weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also when they show you love, it's like, I bought you this. I mean, like, give me a hug, man. Let's talk. It's like something like showing me besides buying me something. Also, it's a bit rare. I'm also like talking from that personal experience.
I feel you. Yeah.
Besides my dad buying groceries, and then he says he loves, like you can see from him taking care of you that he does love me, but beyond that, it's rare to see that, so it makes it very challenging as you grow up to say, how do I now change this pattern and form a new pattern if I don't see anybody with the pattern that I want to portray?
Exactly.
But where do you think we went wrong, really? Because it's that. You see, this talk is like one of the most prevalent, sayings within. Okay, let's narrow it down to the black community. It's like one of those common trend we see. I mean, from experience as well.
And also, one thing I've noticed is that we all from different backgrounds, different countries, which is what I love about our community. It's so diverse. But even within still our black community that's diverse, we still have some commonality from our parenting patterns and experiences.
That's the funny part. That's what I'm asking. Like, where do you think we went? Like, what's happening? Like, it's a common trend. Yes, it's one of those common trends within the black community, and it's worldwide.
Bro,
funny enough,
it shows you how impactful colonialism. Colonialism. I've got a list, man. So
it's all good.
So it shows you the impact of how the divide and conquer, remove the head of the family. It's gonna be chaotic and all that, and then it will just be a pattern that keeps itself going. So it's unfortunate that we have to say it's all created, but now we are at a position where we are aware of it. And what do we do going forward?
So
what do we do going forward?
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Like, we do need to talk about these things. They need to be put out in the open. And I think as the future generations, like we're going to be fathers in the future and stuff, we need to put these things into place. Like, we need to take action. Like, actual things need to happen. Okay. I don't know how easy that's going to be for me, honestly. Like, my background is overtly masculine, like maybe too masculine. Because now, from the time I was 13 till 18, I was in an all boys school. You're surrounded by dudes all the time. Like, now, there's an age gap. You swallowed hard there. Hey, yo, ain't nothing happened, bro. Ain't nothing happened. So now you're surrounded by these older guys, and then they're already becoming men, right? And now there's some traits that you pick up from them because, like, you've got this brother mentality. Like, these are your older brothers. You speak the same way they speak. You think the same way they think. So by the time you're 15 years old in that setup, realistically, your mind doesn't change that much till you leave that system. You are like that. That's how you are. You talk, think, act exactly that way. So now, that's how I was brought up, basically, right? We never said, I love you, when we did it, it was a joke. Like,
Yeah.
you know what follows, right? You know what follows. There's that popular phrase, because this is YouTube and we don't offend nobody, but there's that popular phrase that follows after. We said that all the time, and you carry it forward into society. And then when you observe men that are less than what you're used to, right? Men that are openly emotional, men that are like too loud. Bro, I'm talking about, we had a register of how you talk. You don't raise your voice. No. Be composed. At every given, you've got to be composed. When you encounter that, already there's that rejection. Like, okay, we don't vibe with that.
Like it's
I'm not trying to mess with
this one who's acting weird, sort of.
No, we kind of isolated ourselves to the point where I found it so hard to, like, you know, mingle with other kids when I went to varsity. Like, I was a loner for a while because I didn't get why these guys were acting that way. Like, you guys actually do that? Okay. Met this guy that went to my high school, obviously. Synergy, it happened.
Of course, yes.
But then slowly but surely, and there's a beautiful thing, is that even though I was rejecting of them, they weren't. You know what I'm saying? They were willing to welcome you with all your energy, walking around here like, hey man, why don't you check this out? Why don't you do this? And then slowly but surely, those walls were broken down. So I think if we as this generation preach that and we exercise it, we can close those gaps.
I think one thing we have to be realistic is that it's not going to change tomorrow. But then it's changing patterns, and the younger ones are looking at us as the older generation. So we now just need to lead by example, you know, because a lot of things, especially in the field that I am in, I'm in the creative industry. If I'm not seeing a lot of creatives winning who are my skin color, it's discouraging, you know? So even right now, we need to be the generation that changes those patterns, like telling each other that we love each other. I think even the way we have association to things, toxic masculinity and stuff. For example, I'm one person who I don't associate clothes to gender, you know, because if I can style this thing, bro, I'm good. You know, yeah. So if I can style it, I look good, then I'm cool. You know, but you find people, that's gay. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I wore a crop top at Poolside Poetry,
I
bro.
saw that. You wore a Duke for the longest time back
Duke,
then. I'm
bro.
not gonna lie, I was a bit iffy about that. I was like, my man,
You know,
what's going on?
So it takes
I was like, he's brave. He's too brave.
It takes those brave steps though to change this culture, because these guys being toxic are out there and they're so bold about it.
Yeah.
We also need to counter their act with being bold with whatever actions that they feel uncomfortable with. And I really enjoy dressing up in something that's seen as feminine or whatever, and then I'm there looking at this guy who thinks he's all macho man, but already he feels intimidated by my confidence to be wearing this thing and still like identify as a male, you know?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about a bit about the undertone of looking at feminism, right? Femininity as weak. I just don't get it. Like,
Jeez, you see,
like we tend to look at it like, in order to describe a man who doesn't fit into the, you know, the manliness, what we characterize as manliness, we tend to call them women.
for sure.
So that implicitly we're saying something about being a woman.
About being feminine in general.
Yes.
I think the one feature that makes being feminine and being masculine so different is if not physical, right? It's got to do with the mental, and that breaks down to your emotions. Women are more driven by emotion than men. So if we see that as men, we see that, and that's something that is very obvious, that this guy actually is way too emotional. The first hat we're going to put on you is that of a woman. I think that's okay, well, I'm going to say, okay, fine. From a descriptive point of view, it's quite accurate, fine, but it's insensitive. It's insensitive as well, because now you put in this view, especially if you talk about it in a masculine point of view, putting this idea that women are weak, which couldn't be further from the truth.
Bro.
Couldn't be further from the truth, bro.
Yeah. So there's a lot of unlearning that needs to happen. But some of those lessons, a lot of these men would see it when other men are portraying a positive character and letting go of these things attached to what a real man is, you know? Because you grow up like, man, I grew up, they telling you men are there drinking, or men is, bro, the first time I slaughtered a chicken was traumatic, bro. You know, so like it was a manly thing. Like now I can do it, like it's cool. But the first time I had to do it, bro, they just say, I take the chicken good. I'm like, okay. I got that in the backyard, bro, I'm panicking. This thing is kicking all over the place. You know, and I'm like, I'm supposed to know how to do this thing. You know? So there's some things that you need to learn. It's not like there's a manual when you grow up that you're reading and then this is what a man must do. No, bro, like you either seeing those characters, those people that influence you, or you see it and unlearn it and now portray what you want to portray, which is what I've been doing, you know?
Definitely.
So there's a lot of things that are so associated to being confident or being a man that I don't really do, but I'm very confident, you know. So I feel like instead of, people got it twisted. They think being a man is having an ego and all this toxic masculinity stuff. But when I really, really break it down, it's a confidence thing. Even as animals, bro, for an alpha male to be a leader in a pack, they have to be not only confident, but their action needs to match what they leading and how they lead. And the leadership is also important. So I would like to think that I'm a leader, you know, and how I portray my leadership is very, very important, you know, and my confidence matches my actions. But now you find a lot of people who are driven by ego, and then the ego, it's very hard to find those actions that match an ego, so they just become toxic. And toxic energy is just gonna have a ripple effect of bad things, you know, like you can't tell your homies you love them, bruh.
It's crazy.
Nah, fam.
It's quite hard. Don't you think it boils down to how we as men behave within our relationships as well, how vulnerable we are?
It could be, and I think it helps us to refocus on the question. Do you guys take rejection personally? And now we're talking about from a woman point of view, from a relational point of view, right? How do you handle rejection, my man? Let's say
I love you, man.
Put it out there, bro. Put it out there. Yeah, but what would you say? Like, if you wanted to, if you found a girl and you thought she's like really attractive and you want to go for her, you shoot your shot and then boom, you get curved. How does that feel to you? Like, would you say that has an impact on you?
Well, right now, no.
Why not?
I am led by the saying that says there's so many fish in the sea.
I'm dead. My man.
Hola.
You see, so taking rejection, I'll just be like, okay, maybe I'm overconfident, or maybe I'm too much for her, or too much for her to handle me, or no, by the way, yes, I'm actually too much for some people to handle me.
You gonna put that on blast like that?
He must know.
No.
So if a girl were to say no to me, I'd be like, okay, it's your loss.
Yeah.
I'll just pass.
Yeah.
You know?
Time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's someone out there that deserves me, that deserves me for who I am. Because at the end of the day, it comes to the decision of how you think about yourself. You know, if you say that I'm actually, no, my friend here is better than me, then you're actually decreasing your value.
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm a 10 out of 10.
Hey,
Shout out.
okay,
This man is wild.
my man,
Yeah.
my man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not,
yeah, that's what's up, bro.
I'm not meal that you order.
Yeah.
And you're not even on a budget.
Hey,
You see,
bro.
if you were to go out there with that self-confidence, I mean, if there's no girl out there that doesn't want you,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want. Because
Young King
But
representing,
you see,
so I
the
love
thing
that. I love
The
that.
question is, Gideon.
Yeah.
The question is, how many people in society, out of 10, let's decrease it to that, out of 10, think the same way?
well, I'll be
Because the stats say something totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different story when it comes to stats. Because, I mean, with men normally, rejection within a relationship context says a lot, even though it's not said. Like I said, a man's who they are, their personality and their manliness, their identity is into masculinity.
Yeah.
So the minute you break that and reject that,
Ish.
it's crushed and wounded.
Yeah. You know those guys on the street would call women, and then the minute she rejects them, like then they start sweating at her,
Exactly.
just to shine their ego. Yeah.
Polish the ego a little
Hey,
bit,
bro,
You know? It got
hey.
scuffed a little bit.
To put it that way. And another thing is with men, right? It's difficult. Like we go back to what we're saying. It's difficult for man to voice out that emotional part because it's not allowed. There's no space in society for that. The minute a man expresses themselves, no, he's a woman. Like,
Ish.
no, that man is too emotional.
Yeah.
Okay, you love me. Okay, cool. We
Hey.
brush it like that. Like that you learn. Yes.
Well, to be honest, society will chew you to spit you out. And there's a saying that everything starts at home.
Yeah.
Before we take rejection outside, there's certain rejection you get inside the house.
For sure. Cool.
That's a good
You
point.
see, the moment we take rejection inside the house, at the same time, society is saying that you are weak if you show out your emotions. Yeah? At that point, we are put at the corner to make a tough decision. And the way society tends to chew you and spit you out, you'll be like, you're not ready for that. Rather, you take the rejection inside the house and go outside and act all different. The person you are in the house is very different from the person you are outside. You see? So, taking rejection outside, yeah, it's a very bigger hit than taking rejection inside the house.
Really?
I don't know if you get me.
Oh, taking rejection outside the house hurts more than taking it inside the house. Well, for me, it's quite different. It's
Yeah.
quite different.
I think that one will be based on experience.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
if
I think inside it's more
Yeah,
impactful
'cause
because they know you, man.
home is where I'm comfortable. This is where I feel safe. If I'm getting rejected there already, that's gonna do so much damage to myself.
Yeah.
Let's forget my ego and everything, but my mental state is not gonna be good. My spirit won't be good. So I'd rather face rejection outside.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm a guy that like can't get rejected by girls. I'm kidding, I can't. But totally can, and I have many times, right?
What was your first reaction?
My first reaction was the natural one. You feel kind of bad, like, oh wow, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
You want to find a reason as to why you got rejected in the first place.
Yeah.
But then you kind of understand, maybe you're not suited to this person. Maybe you guys wouldn't be compatible. Okay, maybe she's interested in someone else or something else.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, attraction is face value. The first, 5-10 seconds are crucial.
Yeah.
First impressions last like a lifetime, so you've got to nail it. If your first impression isn't on point, it's opening so many doors for rejection and stuff. So over the time, knowing that, I've learned to like, you know, polish my approach with people. And it doesn't have to be a girl I'm trying to get with, like anyone I meet, you know, you want to leave a good first impression. So they know at the back of their mind, okay, this person's like that. So for me, that's how I understand it. Like, so for that reason, I would never take rejection personally. I did in the past, you know, as a young kid growing up, you beat yourself up and you get all mopey and sad and stuff.
Don't you think it's all environment?
It's environment and character. Because I was surrounded by friends who were going out and saying, yeah, I want this, I want this. I knew that, yo man, if I'm gonna engage with somebody, it has to go somewhere. Just dating for fun and all these things, it was a waste of time. And I think the fact that I developed that character early, I think it made me choose wisely in what I want to engage in. And also I had this conversation with some other friends of mine who were talking about cheating. And I was like, if you are cheating, you are sick. And you need to heal. You know? Like legit, you are sick, bro. especially so like what we discussed was like, yeah, if you have multiple partners and they all don't know you have multiple partners, you are cheating. But if I'm dating 3 people, they all know that they're not it's an open relationship. I'm not sick. But if you're hiding it and you have all these dodgy things, are you sick, bro? Are you sick?
Can I add to that? You know, cheap products attract a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Is that your addition?
Your one-liners, bro. Excellent.
No, I mean, it's your secret. Oh, it's a man. I mean, yeah, it goes back to environment. It goes back. I mean, for some people, cheating is a norm, bro. It's like there's nothing wrong. Like, what am I doing wrong?
There's so many creative names for cheating. You know, there's so many. I've lost count.
What's the one from Jada? Entanglement.
Yeah. You see a new one.
Hey, bro.
Hectic.
So yes, it goes back to I think environment. The environment you grow up somehow determines and prepares you for life. I mean, at least you stated the fact that you are middle child, right? You're middle child. So already the environment was set differently. The tone is different. Now imagine for firstborns.
But also I think, sorry to cut you short there, like there was a lot of things within me being a middle child that kind of, they were hard situations, but I think they gave me enough cushion that the outside rejection didn't affect me. You know, because I'm the darkest in shade at home. You know, so I'm also being teased about my skin, not only inside the house, but outside the house. You know, so I learned to deal with so many dynamics of things that another human being who doesn't even know me is gonna tell me they don't want me. Bro, you're not worth this. You know, like, and the fact that I see so much value in me because I didn't let all those things bring me down. So it's like, if I'm gonna meet you, you gotta deserve all of this. And I feel like we're in a time whereby men are seeing their value and that they are the prize. I'm a prize, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. I couldn't agree with you more. I think traditionally, it used to be the case where men were made to underplay their value, you know? Right? Especially in pursuit of a woman. The woman is the prize. Therefore, you idolize her, you pedestalize her, her value just like becomes so unrealistic, and then yours is diminished. But I'm glad that, if anything, in this day and age, men are woke like that. Now we know our value. We know our self-worth. Men and women alike know their value and self-worth, right? People are becoming more conscious about these things. And from there, you can actually make proper decisions, whereby, as Hector beautifully put it, somebody that doesn't know you from a bar of soap,
imagine, will tell
it's going to be like, no, you're not good enough. Okay, whatever. Right? You can move on and brush it off. Of course, not everybody's like that. There are still a lot of people that want to validate other people, and if they get rejected, it's like, well, what did I do wrong? What did I go wrong? Do you want me to improve something? You know, it's not like the inner push. It's like, do you want me to improve something for you?
Hey.
Do you understand? So there's still a lot of people stuck in there. But the good thing about having people being more emotionally aware and having these kind of conversations is that you are giving them back their power and telling them you're worth something, you're good enough as you are. If you think your self-worth is at this level, who's anybody to tell you it's down here? Nobody, right? And I think on that basis, many men and women alike will start taking rejection with a pinch of salt. It's not that deep, actually.
Yeah, it's not that deep.
Which starts back in the home again. Goes back to the house.
Yeah, the environment, as you were saying.
It goes back
It's the
to
environment
house.
that you were bred in.
And the environment that you set yourself in. I mean, you set yourself in a very different environment.
For sure.
Okay, I was not also in an environment where guys woke up and went to what? Yeah, no. No, I mean, it's
That was my bread and butter for like 4 years, guys. Oh my gosh.
What?
Going after girls and all
Oh,
that.
yeah?
Remember, you're an old boy.
Oh, yeah. You need to prove a point, bro. You need to prove a point. Plus, you're not seeing girls every day, so it makes sense.
You're not seeing
bro.
girls at all at school, except for
I
your
stay
female
next. I
teachers.
stay next to a high school, so I know all those guys when they see a girl. Bro.
it's excitement,
Yo,
right?
yo.
We even had a bidding system, hey? The dibs, like, dude, I call dibs. And then we'll let you do your thing, but we'll be watching.
Yeah.
You can't flop though. Like, if you call dibs and the homies witnesses, please don't flop. Because if you do...
I think what those type of environments do is give you confidence.
Absolutely.
And I am for those environments, just that I found a different pattern
There
than
it
that.
is.
You know,
There
so
it
it's
is,
not a matter of following what works for what every other person is doing. Calculate the situation, analyze and like, okay, this is not for me, but I'd rather try this. You know? So I remember I was once pressured into hitting up on a girl, bro. And I was uncomfortable to do it, you know? So there's that saying that says, if you're gonna go to war or to battle, do it in a favorable condition.
Absolutely.
So I know that's not my favorable condition, but I suck at first. Well, I sucked. At first impressions, you know? I'm like, okay, and then I'm gonna get the hello to some random stranger, bruh. I got awkward and I choked on my words and I was like, nah, man, this is not me. I know how to go about me, you know. I know who's for me from just looking at you. Even now, remembering that lady wasn't for me. I was just pressured into impressing one of my peers and I only did that thing once. And I knew that it's not for me and I'm not gonna do it again. And since then, I've always been able to analyze the situation like, I can go there, and then calculate on how I can make it favorable to me, from the approach to how to get to know them and all that. But now guys just like jumping, following their peers, and then rejection, and then ace.
It creates it's demon time. I mean that's the end result.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's no limit to it. The end result is, you know what? I'm a savage.
Yeah.
I will cheat. It goes back to the sickness. I will have the cheating sickness, and I will cheat
that
on fire
disease,
because I mean now you know that, you know what, I'm gonna get rejected. So what's the point? I mean, it goes back to Tina's question, you know, in the previous video where he says, so if you're in a relationship, do you give it all 100%, or do you give it like 20% in hope that it fails?
Because I think that's a serious question to be asking, because here's the scary thing about the room for failure. It can only ever increase. Room for failure never ever decreases. If you get into a relationship with a 20% room for failure, couple months down the line, it's like a 60% room for failure. Before long, you're gonna make sure it fails because you're like, I'm at 99.9. I don't want this anymore. And
that's why you analyze the situation. You calculate, bro. You're like, honestly, bro, I wanna be with a partner who grows with me. But now the thrill will continue if you're all growing at a rapid pace. But now I was chasing, I caught up. and then I'm growing, and then you're not growing, and then that room increases. So the chase never ends. That's the reality, because this person is growing at a certain rate, you also growing at a certain rate, and when you connect all the time, it's a matter of I need to be consistent with the chase. I need to be consistent with the growth. But now if that partner doesn't reciprocate the growth,
it becomes a bit...
Actually, a question just popped up in my head.
Yeah.
Could it be, gents, and you guys can let me know what you think, could it be, for example, if a young man is so used to rejection by virtue of, let's say, being in these situations where you're not comfortable, where you're forced to take action, especially with women, could that be the driving force as to why you decide to have multiple partners? Because in your mind, rejection is normal. Nobody's good enough anymore because you've never been good enough.
Hey.
Do you
That's
understand?
what I was getting
And
to.
therefore, you normalize cheating, you normalize womanizing, you normalize all these things because none of these people are good enough.
Yeah.
Okay? Could that be the case?
Yeah, and I mean...
What do you think, Gedeon?
For some reasons, I would have to agree. Because it serves as a suitable reason as to why some guys do cheat, due to the fact that rejection is there. It's been part of their life. It's basically their best friends. You check.
Yeah.
So I'll definitely have to agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes back to what I was saying, self-sabotage.
Yeah.
You spoke about it. It goes back to that. Because you have an assumption that you're going to get rejected anyways.
Yeah.
I'll just play along
Yeah.
because I got this girl.
Yeah.
She fell into it. I'll just have to play along, but we're not committing 100%.
Right.
Because if we do that, the impact will be hard. Let's just commit 20% and we can find others who commit 20%. At the end of it all, even if she says it's over, it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is I had this homie, like this older guy, who was a homie of mine. And he once said, if you treat a lady like you don't care about her, she's gonna want you more, I was like, what?
It's a common saying.
It is.
It's
eh?
a common saying.
So there was,
Which it's red pill. It's a red pill motto.
and he's showing me examples that, yo man, this is my girlfriend, but look who I got as my DP. I'm like, yo, this guy was so toxic, man. and then I found myself in a similar situation, which I'm not proud of. I found myself in a relationship, and I didn't have feelings for this person, But the more I was very distant about this thing, the more effort she put. So guys take these 20% and then they have multiples of them, and then they normalize the thing, and it's not healthy.
I mean,
bro.
it gives you toxic confidence.
Yeah.
It's
Ego.
It's an ego.
It's an
It boosts your
illusion
ego,
of
yes.
confidence.
I mean, bro, imagine 10 ladies are after you.
Yeah.
Your phone, bro.
Yeah.
That ego. You are famous, bro.
It's just an illusion until you remove all those things. Then you can see that, nah, man, you are nothing without all these people trying to get at you. I've been in points in my life where I can leave my phone at home for a week or 2 weeks, and I know nobody's gonna call me, nobody's gonna SMS me, and I'm cool with it. I'm at peace with it. But now there's guys who always want to validate that, yeah, I'm valuable, and then this person wants me, this person wants me. No, it should be about you first. True. If you can't see value in yourself, you're gonna want to find it somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And you will develop unhealthy pattern. Hi everybody, my name is Hector, also known as Xquizified. I'm here on Luc's channel. We had an engaging topic. It was super fun. What I do is I'm a cultural curator, also known as Oshibaba Bros, the founder of Xquizified Media. I host events that mobilize young people into spaces, engaging them with the stuff that they love within the creative industry and exposing them to the amazing stuff filled in the creative industry. So today we had this conversation which was super insightful, which you need to check out the whole video. Follow me on social media at Xquizified. Xquizified with the Xquizified. Hector Mgiba Matonsela. Shout out.